Hi guys, everyone Hardcore Gamer here, posting on behalf of Outbound Projects, and welcome to part number 18 of How to Terraria. So in episodes so far, in the last couple we've looked at defeating some of the hard mode bosses, and we've made our way all the way up to Plantera now. So we've defeated Skeleton Prime, we've defeated the Twins, and we've defeated the Destroyer. So with the souls that they dropped, we have now been able to make ourselves some very powerful weapons. But Plantera, unfortunately, is my least favourite boss by a clear mile. Because I believe the boss fight is incredibly difficult to do if you're a melee character, especially because he does a bum rush attack at you, and it does just ultra amounts of damage, and it's ridiculously difficult. So I'm going to show you a little method that's been devised to help counteract that. It's almost cheating in as such, but I don't think it is, because the fight's that ridiculously difficult anyway. You either have to grind for hours and hours and hours to get to the point where you're more powerful enough to actually take her on, or him on, or whatever, or you can do it this way, and I think it's simple. And I don't feel bad for cheating, because I don't see it as cheating. I see it as a very, very shifty way of doing it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and load the game. So we're still playing as Akira, and we're still in Green Hill Zone. So the first thing I want to do is talk to you a little bit about some of the equipment that you should have by now, and if you've not got it, you should probably go away and get it. Just going to readjust the camera so I can actually see what's going on. That's better. So, first thing first, let's welcome Slippy back. Hello Slippy, how's it going? He's fantastic at the minute. So by this point in the game, you should already have yourself, by this point, a set of wings. If you're not sure how to get the set of wings, by all means watch the previous video. I'll talk to you a little bit about the stuff you actually need to get those. Not necessarily bat wings, there is a few different kinds. And that is the easiest way to do it, I think. Also, the Steampunk sells a jetpack, which does essentially the same thing. But more importantly, by this point in the game, you should have yourself a nice, powerful set of armour. So if you've got titanium already, that's fantastic. But the set of armour I'm going to recommend, especially if you're going to try and fight Plantera the legitimate way, is the turtle armour. Now, I'm going to quickly equip all this stuff and show you some of the stats and some of the benefits. Just going to stick my titanium armour in here. Right, so we now have a full set of turtle armour. Now, turtle armour isn't particularly difficult to craft. It basically requires two items. You need a turtle shell, which you'll actually get by killing turtles over in the jungle biome. Unfortunately, the drops are quite rare, so you probably have to kill a fair few, and it does take a little while, which is why I did it between episodes, rather than letting you guys get bored stiff watching me do it. So you require 3 to make a full set. And also you need chlorophyll or chlorophine, or I forgot what it's called, that stuff, chlorophyte ore. You need at least, I think it's 60 chlorophyte bars to make that. And if you're unsure where that comes from or what you need to mine that stuff, by all means watch the previous video, because it's all in there, trust me. It's definitely one to look at, because if you're struggling at this point, these are tips that will help you an awful lot. So I'm going to take out some bits of kits from my mechanical thing. I'm going to take out some teleporters. I'm going to take no, I'm not going to take pressure plates actually. I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to take the wrench, which we use to place wire. I'm going to take the wire, obviously. And I'm going to take the wire cutters in case I make a boo-boo. All this stuff is available from the Steampunk. She sells all this stuff, sorry, the mechanic. The Steampunk sells the teleporter, which you should have by now. And the mechanic, wherever she's gone, has all the buttons and equipment and things like that. I actually need 2 levers off her, so I could do with figuring out where she's gone. Oh, there she is. So I'm going to purchase off her 2 of these levers. We're going to stick them there. And while I'm here, I also need to take out some blocks as well. So there should be some in here. Yep, we'll take this stone block. And we're going to head up to the sky runway, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to defeat Plantera. And it's going to be done by making a very, very simple teleportation system. Because when she does her bum rush attack, unfortunately, if she does actually reach you, she will hound you round for a while, and you'll take constant, and I mean constant damage until you're pretty much dead. So it's a good, if you are struggling like I am, I unfortunately just cannot beat her. I just can't do it unless I use this technique. So I'm going to show you guys how it works, and it's very simple. So we're going to start by building a platform. just a little bit higher than you would normally, than your cursor can reach on its own, about there. And I'm going to build you a small one for now, but it does need to be longer really in the boss fight, maybe 75 blocks at least. Doesn't matter that I went over a little bit there, but just to tidy things up I'll get rid of it because it bugs me, stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in either side, so you're making basically the outline of a house. And we're going to go ahead and stick our teleporter roughly 3 blocks away from the wall. I'm going to have to get rid of that as well, I didn't think of that. And same again on this side. So 1, 2, 3 there. And we're going to stick our lever in front of it. I think I've just put that in the wrong place. Watch out, Slippy. I have actually, I've done that wrong. It actually needs to be 4 blocks away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I place that there, once I get rid of the candle, and the lever in front of it, as long as it doesn't block up that hole, that should be okay. Yeah, so from there all we're going to do is do the same on the other side. So we're going to get that, and I'm going to put it 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, with our lever in front of it. Get rid of the harpy. Did I put the lever down? Nope, I didn't. So we're going to stick the lever there. And that is essentially it. Now to wire these up, it's very simple. You use the wrench, wire this down and into the lever and across. Don't worry about the red wire, that will disappear when you switch to a weapon or an item that doesn't actually use it. So that should be okay. And into the teleporter. Now, as you can see, we have a working teleporter, and that will flick us back and forth at the flick of a switch. You can also use pressure plates, but there's a bit of a glitch, unfortunately, with the pressure plates. If you put it directly on top, you can use it by simply jumping on it. However, if there is a pressure plate on the other side and it's not a very long distance between them, that will activate instantly as well and send you straight back. So that makes it kind of pointless, really. Plus, you want to be able to do it on your own time, just by quickly clicking a button back and forth. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to trap Plantera in here, and we're going to spray her with bullets through this hole here. And when she gets too close, we're going to swing ourselves back to the other side and continue the onslaught from the other side. And that's basically it. So this little contraption, which took only a minute or 2 to actually make, is our simple technique to actually kill Plantera, and that's the one I'm going to show you today. So we're going to head down to the jungle biome. In order to summon in Plantera, we have to destroy one of her bulbs, which are very easy to spot. They do spawn quite a few of them, so you can get her in multiple times. Unlike other bosses, you're not actually required to make anything specific to actually start the fight going. You just need to destroy these bulbs, and the bulbs do respawn over a period of time, so it's very, very easy. Unlike the fight itself, which is ridiculously difficult. So in this video we're going to go and kill Plantera, hopefully. There is ways this technique can go wrong, and believe me, if anyone can do it, I can. And we're going to go and investigate the dungeon and make ourselves a key to open one of the dungeon chests and see what one of the superior weapons inside there are. So as you can see, I've built the same mechanism here. Exactly the same thing on either end. I'm just going to quickly get rid of this armoured skeleton. Now, on the off chance that I do get killed, I've also made a spawn point down here. I've made a little house for myself just here. So I'm going to set that as my spawn point. Oh, I didn't see him. Yeah, as you can see, I have built an arena. I was going to show you guys how to kill a melee style, which I can actually do it. Unfortunately, it does take an awful long time because I'm not particularly good at it. But as you can see, the arena is basically dug out in the underground, and it's quite big, and it consists of platforms and campfires, because they will slowly regenerate your health while you're trying to take on the boss. With this little platform in the middle to block any projectiles from enemies that spawn underneath, because the enemies will spawn as well. So I'm not going to do that because unfortunately it takes me that long that the video will be 20 minutes long, and that's just me killing her because she's quite powerful. So I'm not going to bother doing that. So this is the bulb. So in order to spawn Plantera, we just destroy the bulb. And I'm going to quickly retreat up to... oh my god, I wasn't expecting it to spawn there. I was going to say I'm going to quickly retreat over to my teleportation system. I'm going to let her get close, and I'm going to spawn away. And while I've showed her in Ichor, I can now start attacking her with the chlorophyte bullets. They actually home in on Plantera, and they're very easy to make. It consists of standard musket balls, and you combine that with 1 chlorophyte bar to make 70 bullets. And I don't know if you can actually see, but they do actually home in on her. So the fact that we only have that tiny little hole to shoot through doesn't make that much of a difference, because hopefully it will just continue to rain bullets on top of her. She's being quite passive at the moment. Unfortunately, she does the bum rush phase that I was telling you about should happen anytime now, where she basically bulldozes you, and there's not a great deal you can do to get away from her. The second form, especially, is much more aggressive. She just comes at you and at you and at you, and you have to be on the constant retreat trying to get away, and it's impossible to do it in any sort of quick way. Unless you're ridiculously overpowered, which, you know, some people by this point are. But unfortunately, it really bores me spending hours and hours and hours grinding for stuff. So I'm not going to bother with that. Like I said, a lot of people see this as cheating, but I see it as quite a clever and tricky little way of doing it. And it certainly makes this boss fight manageable for people who are struggling. So if you get stuck, don't get downhearted. As you can see, she's on second form, or he's on second form. Yeah, don't get downhearted, because it is one of the more difficult boss fights to actually do, especially if you're not trying to do it with any sort of method. So, you know, don't feel bad for doing this at all. I know I don't, and I've put an awful lot of time into this game over my years. It's just a way of progressing, I see it. So, yeah, we're just going to continue to shower her with... I actually aimed away there, and that didn't help me very much. Just keep showering her with bullets, basically. While she's in this form, and she does move quite rapidly, I'm not actually going to try and defeat her, shower her with Ichor to lower the defences, because she's not got that much health left anyway. So I'm literally just going to keep teleporting myself and just keep showering her with the Ichor bullets. So if you're wondering what weapon is, it's actually a Mega Shark that I'm using to fire the bullets. If you're not sure what the Mega Shark is, or what you need to actually make it or anything like that, by all means watch the previous video, and this is not going to end well, because we looked into everything we actually needed to make it in that video. So you're getting an idea of the bum rush that I was talking about. She will just bulldoze you to the ground, basically, and you don't stand much of a chance. If she gets close enough, she'll just keep hitting you, and you pretty much die almost straight away. So we're going to have a quick look at some of the things that Plantera dropped. The most important thing that she should have dropped is the temple key. Now you can actually use that to open up the temple here, and inside there is some very good bits of kit, and also our next boss, which is going to be the Golem. There's a couple of tricks to beating him as well, so we'll talk about that in the next video. Also, she dropped I think it was a staff, a mythical pygmy staff, which spawns a little creature that will help fight for you. Yeah, she is actually tiny, about half the height of me. I don't know if you noticed there that Omnicron the Cyborg has arrived, and that happens as soon as you beat Plantera, pretty much. She also dropped a rocket launcher, I believe. Yep, a superior grenade launcher, which fires grenades or rockets. And that's very, very powerful as well, so that can come in handy for us. So that is my cheap, very cheap way of defeating Plantera. And as I said, I don't feel bad for doing it, because I know the Plantera fight is incredibly difficult, especially on the console version. So if you're struggling, you know, don't feel bad for using the technique. It just works, basically. I don't know who came up with it, but it's ingenious, and I've used it every single playthrough now, and this is probably my 4th or 5th playthrough of the game before I actually started recording these videos. So I was going to run back to the Casa di Ben, because I forgot we had the magic mirror. Oh no, yeah, see, that's why I didn't do it, because I forgot that I'd set my spawn point down there. Never mind, not to worry. So we're going to head back to Casa di Ben, because there is also an item in one of my boxes that we need to craft the item that we're going to need to open the forest box chest inside the dungeon. Which, by the way, killing Plantera, the enemies in the dungeon will change now, and they will be much more difficult. So, you know, I might actually die on my way over there, but, you know, it's just something that's got to be done again. So we're going to head back to Casa di Ben, and I'm going to show you what these items are. And I'm going to make sure I set my spawn point there, because if I do die, I don't want to be running all the way back here again. So, yep, I'm going to quickly set my spawn point first, otherwise I will just forget. So my spawn point is now there. Now the item I'm actually talking about is in this chest, and it is the jungle key mold. Now the jungle key mold, if you spend enough time in a biome killing enemies, will just get dropped at random. There's one per biome. So I'm going to look at use the anvil to find out what we actually need to make the jungle key. So as you can see, we need 1 temple key, which we have, 1 temple key mold, 5 souls of fright, 5 souls of might, and 5 souls of sight, dropped by Skeleton Prime, the Destroyer, and the twins. So I'm going to take 5 of each. Yep, 5 of those. And soul of fright. So that is everything. Something to note, if you do only want to kill Plantera once, I wouldn't do this, because you do get a very, very good piece of kit usually in these chests, but you can only use it once, and that will get rid of your key. So if you're more interested in actually going into the temple in the forest here and defeating the golem, you will have to kill Plantera again, which if you use my method isn't particularly difficult, so don't worry too much about it. We've still got plenty of bullets and stuff, so I'm just going to head straight over to the temple now. And we're going to use our newly made key to open one of the chests. I seem to remember there is one in there. They don't always spawn inside the temple, so it's not the end of the world if you can't find it. And as I say, each different chest has a different type of weapon in it. This one in particular being the jungle one. But if I spent a lot of time in this particular biome, the ice one, killing enemies around here, eventually someone will drop one. And the mold is something you need to make the key to open the ice chests. But we're not going to concentrate on that in this episode. We're just going to go and open the other one. In between this episode and the next, I will go back and kill Plantera again and collect another key. So we're going to explore the temple, the dungeon in the bottom of the forest even, in the next episode. And we're going to look at ways to defeat the Iron Golem. Again, there is another sort of cheaty method that you can use, and the Iron Golem is incredibly powerful. So even at this point in the game, with armour that actually gives us 78 defence in conjunction with the other stuff, unfortunately the Iron Golem is still incredibly tough to beat. So I'll show you a couple of little techniques you can use to finish her easily. So if you're just looking to progress through the game and collect all the cool bits and bats, then that's the way to do it. But if you do want to go back there and grind and spend a lot of time getting your weapons ready and all that stuff, then by all means I respect that decision, because I did feel kind of bad doing it this way the first time round, but I did go back and try and beat Plantera an awful lot of times. I've only actually managed it once, and it was incredibly difficult, so for the purpose of this video I wasn't going to bother showing you that, because it won't be anything particularly interesting for you guys to watch. So as you can see now, the enemies inside here are far more powerful. And I've just been attacked with a slow spell, so that's going to slow me down a little bit. Oh, and there's our jungle chest. I just need to wait for him to spawn somewhere local so I can kill him. Oh my good god, I might end up dying here. In fact, I think I probably will. If I do die, I do apologise guys, but unfortunately it does happen. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to die. What I need to do really is equip some greater mana. That way I can quickly heal myself back up if I do start to take a lot of damage. I suppose what I should have done though really is just quickly open the chest, because you can only open one per key anyway, and empty the contents real quick before I actually died, but never mind. So there's only a couple of hard mode bosses left to beat now. But from here on out, they are incredibly difficult. It's almost like the game saying, yeah, you made it this far. You've done well, but now it's time to prove that you are worthy. I forgot that we'd left Slippy behind. Come on, Slippy, keep up. My little rocket slime. I know there's plenty of other pets that you can use that do actually help you in combat. But he's just so cute, my little blue Slippy slime, so I decided we'll stick with him. And, he's been through thick and thin with us so far, and he's not helped as such, but he's definitely been there for moral support more than anything else. Which is pretty much all you can expect from a slime, really. One more thing to note for people who are hunting for achievements, that if you're trying to get the one for killing every single different type of slime, once you've defeated Plantera in the jungle region, you will find slimes that actually should start to spawn. They are still quite rare and they're massive. They're not particularly difficult to beat, but they are quite big. And they are called rainbow slimes, and they drop a very funky little block called a rainbow block, which will continuously change colour. All the different primary colours, very bright, very colourful. Oh, fantastic. That's all you need when you're getting back to the dungeon where you're dying constantly anyway, is a bloody blood moon, which makes the enemies spawn much quicker and much more of them. So I'm not going to mess about now. I'm going to literally run to the chest and I'm going to empty its contents and I'm going to scarper using the magic mirror before I end up dying again. So I'm going to quickly open that, and I'm not going to look at what we got, I'm just going to take it. And hopefully I'll be able to scarper out of it pretty quick. Yeah, I should probably think about doing that as soon as he's dead. I was just hoping that some of these guys do drop some bits of kit that can be very useful. And it does help that we've got these bullets that auto aim for us. As soon as this bloody slowness potion wears off anyway. So while we're here, I'm just going to kill one or two of them, see if they drop anything. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's not going to work out too well, so I'm just going to quickly get out of there. Right, so I'm so bloody slow, fantastic. So yeah, in the next episode we're going to go and explore the temple, and we're going to take a look at some of the stuff you can find in there, and we're going to also attempt, and I say attempt because it's very hard, we're going to attempt to beat the, the iron golem, or the golem. And that won't be a particularly easy task, but it's something that needs to be done. So this is the piranha gun that we got from there. Now the piranha gun is fantastic. It doesn't actually use any mana or anything like that. Basically it fires a piranha, as you can see there. Now if it latches to a particularly powerful enemy, such as this armour here, it will stay attached provided you keep hold of the button and just consistently do damage. Constantly do damage, I beg your pardon, until they're dead. So the range on it's quite good as well, as you can see, so I can basically leave the piranha going and basically make my way around. If the enemies aren't particularly difficult, it will just rip through them in one shot. And yeah, that was what we found. I think you get that in every single, chest, jungle chest. So that item can be quite useful. It's basically like when you try and kill an enemy with a drill, and rather than having to stand right next to them, you still have the freedom of movement to move around the arena. So I don't think I'll be using it because I've never really found that much of a use for it in any of the boss fights, but it's still a pretty cool weapon anyway. So right, that's this video done. So stay tuned for part 19, I believe it is. In part 19, we're going to be exploring the jungle and looking at the golem and all that sort of stuff. So from myself and Slippy the Slime, we will see you in the next episode. Thanks for staying tuned, guys. I hope you learned some things in this video. If you did, then that's great. If you anything you want to point out, or anything that you didn't know, or anything you want to know, by all means use that comment section in the box below. And don't forget to subscribe for the next episode. That way you'll know about it before everybody else, and you'll get first dibs and first comment, etc. So I've been the A1 Hardcore Gamer. Thanks for staying tuned. There's more interesting videos being uploaded on the Outbound Projects channel every single day, so feel free to check them out as well. We always look forward to seeing you. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next video. Bye bye.